The Dominican Republic is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the Caribbean. More than 8.5 million people visited the island just last year. The increase of tourists has led to a spike in one of the country's biggest industries, sex trafficking. And the most vulnerable victims are migrants from Haiti. Chuck Holton has the story.
The Dominican Republic has an immigration issue. Conditions in Haiti have led to an increase in border crossings, and today, Haitians make up 25% of the DR population. We drove to a remote border crossing to get a sense of the problem.
This barrier between Haiti and the Dominican Republic is something the Dominicans call their version of the Trump wall. It was put here starting in 2019 to keep this flood of Haitians from coming into their country because it's been so expensive for them. But it's an ongoing problem, and they have to have soldiers out here in order to guard this fence as well, because otherwise people will cut right through it or jump right over it.
Haitians live in bateys, the poorest slums. Many work on sugarcane farms, one of this tropical country's biggest industries. It's hot, hard, and low-paying.
When the police come, we just have to run away.
The government is rounding up and deporting Haitians without the proper documents. Last year, authorities sent a record 162,000 Haitians back to their country.
We have nowhere to turn when people take advantage of us, or even if someone robs us. Finding a job is very tough. We have to look after ourselves.
There are an estimated 2 million undocumented Haitians in the DR, but this issue is complicated.
This is one of the poorest neighborhoods in Santo Domingo, and it's completely full of Haitians. But as a matter of fact, many of the people that live here were born in the Dominican Republic. But because they're of Haitian descent, they can't automatically get citizenship in DR, and they don't have citizenship in Haiti either. And so they don't have papers for either country, and that leaves them in sort of a legal gray area that makes it very difficult for them to make a living.
Working under the table is often the only option, and many do so by serving the tourists who visit these white sand beaches each year. Unfortunately, foreign money combined with desperate poverty make the Dominican Republic a global hotspot for sex tourism, and over 20% of girls here are pregnant by age 18.
There's so many of these families put their young girls out into prostitution in order to just make a little bit of money because it's so difficult. And then the girls wind up getting pregnant, and so you got moms that are sometimes only 12 years old, 13, 14, and then they have an extra mouth to feed, so they kind of get kicked out.
Parakaleo Ministries is building this home for single moms right in the middle of the batey outside Santo Domingo.
To bring them in and try and help them have a safe place and also train them for some life skills, so where they can get some work and so on too.
Pastor Simon oversees the program and leads the small church they started on the roof of this building.
Prostitution is a big problem in Dominican Republic. People like 12 years cross early, so we make this program for help them in this situation.
Fluent in Haitian, Spanish, and English, Pastor Simon does his best to help the members of this community better their lives without resorting to selling their bodies.
La Casa El Roy is a new program he has for the young people, especially the ladies, family education and social education for them.
However, as long as tourists are willing to spend money in the Dominican Republic in search of forbidden fruit, it will remain an uphill battle. From Santo Domingo, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.
Well, it may be an uphill battle, but it's absolutely a battle worth waging. And if you can't save everyone, you can at least save one. Can we come together and say, no, this should not happen. This should not be part of our world culture, where every time you have a tourist spot, you have coming up next to it sex trade. This should not be. And it's not just the Dominican Republic. When you look at even the United States, and whenever you have a Super Bowl in a city, then the sex tourism takes off at the same time. This is something that we all have to face and say, no, you're ruining people. You're ruining their future. You're ruining their lives. They become debased in this. It should not happen. And let us all stand together and say, no, not on our watch.